And so it is finally out, the major and most anticipated trailer I have seen since, of course, the Force Awakens trailer. Let us dive right into it and give my thoughts on the things we saw and hopefully more to come in the future. The trailer starts with a starlight background where I think it teases the beginning of The Last Jedi, where the title crawl will happen and slowly pan down and move into the planet Ahch-To, where Luke and Rey have come together. That slowly transitions into something unknown at first until we see the hand of Rey palming the rock floor on Ahch-To. Now, something you pretty much noticed right off the bat is that she looks exhausted and can't catch her breath. Many thought this scene was a training montage. Well, if you look closely in this scene, behind her is something that looks like an entrance to a cave. Naturally, this is in line with Luke's journey where he enters inside the mysterious cave on Dagobah and has a vision that is fueled by the Force residue that the planet or the cave holds. It is why Rey looks exhausted, as she has just witnessed something immense, just as she had on Takodana, where she first touched the Skywalker lightsaber. Next, we see a beautiful vista of the ocean, and far ahead is the island that Luke has been exiled. We hear the Jedi Master telling Rey to breathe. This could be him telling her to breathe and calm down after the vision she just had, as he tries to manage her feelings. After that comes this scene where Rey is using the Force in this awesome shot where it is very reminiscent to the Man of Steel trailer, where Superman flies for the very first time. Luke ends up saying, "Just reach out," as we see tiny pieces of rocks floating around her fingers and hand. Now comes the big mystery part, and believe me guys, I have played these scenes 100 times in a loop just to get them right. During each of these scenes, we get secret cameos and voices that many people have not been able to decode. Well, after playing them over and over, I think I managed to figure them out. As Luke asks Rey, "What do you see?" we start with this shot of General Leia. Rey responds, "Light." Just before she says that, in the background we hear Princess Leia's voice in a very reduced volume saying, "Help me, Obi-Wan," and then it cuts off. This is of course from A New Hope, the message that Leia sends as a recording to Ben Kenobi. In the next scene, we see the smashed helmet of Kylo Ren. We first hear Vader breathing, but only inhaling. After Vader inhales, again in the background, in low volume, we hear old Ben Kenobi say, "Seduced by the dark side." Rey ends this shot by saying "darkness." This again was taken from A New Hope, where Obi-Wan is talking to Luke about his pupil, Darth Vader, who was seduced by the dark side of the Force. What comes next is a true mystery. It seems like a small shelf containing old books. However, the surroundings to me tells us that we might get to see Dagobah once more. It does seem like something Yoda would keep and preserve, and this maybe is confirmed because yes, we have another secret voice in this scene, and is none other than the Grand Jedi Master himself, Yoda. As we slowly zoom in on the shelf, we hear the voice of Yoda saying, "Surrounds us." After it cuts to the book containing the Jedi Order symbol, we hear Yoda again saying, "Binds us." Rey closes this scene by saying, "The balance." Could this be a teaser of what's to come? She first sees the light, then the darkness, and now balance. As we move into a new continuity with canon material, we have seen many sects outside the Jedi and the Sith, such as the Bendu, the ones in the middle, not siding with light or the dark. Other interesting aspects are the wills as well. Maybe that is what the book contains. It may show us the real origins of these monks that ended up creating an order of the Jedi from which the Sith and the Dark Jedi emerged as well later on. Let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comments. As to whose hand is touching the book, to me, definitely it is Rey. She is actually wearing her scavenger gloves when touching the book. We saw them at the beginning of The Force Awakens. She is on this journey to discover more about the Jedi and the Force, the mystery and the history behind it. Because they only showed her hands or gloves and not her face, this is another indication that they might want to keep this a mystery from the fans just a bit longer. As this scene ends, we hear a lightsaber ignite and cue the money shot, the one that fans have been waiting for this whole time. Rey training with a lightsaber as Luke Skywalker watches from afar. However, you know that in these trailers there is another level to it. During this scene, we hear a mysterious voice say, "It's so much bigger." The only conclusion I came to was that this is in fact Ewan McGregor's voice portraying Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, why is he saying this? Well, you might remember that in The Force Awakens, as Rey's vision was ending, it was Ewan McGregor who told Rey, "These are your first steps," which was directly connected again to A New Hope, where Obi-Wan tells Luke that he has taken his first steps into a larger world. After hearing this, we understand that "it's so much bigger" correlates directly to what Obi-Wan said to Rey in The Force Awakens. These are your first steps, meaning into a larger world, and then adding to this trailer saying "it's so much bigger," which when put together means that you are taking your first steps into a larger world, which is so much bigger than you could possibly imagine. After this scene ends, the trailer picks up. We see the planet Crait. The name was revealed to us by Rian Johnson, and I am excited to learn about this more in the coming months. These new ships, which kind of look like B-Wings, and in the distance, of course, awaiting them are the new AT-AT walkers we have been hearing about. These new walkers, nicknamed by the fans as Guerrilla Walkers, are unleashed by the First Order. Now, this red mist that many are puzzled about, I think, is a great tactic by the Resistance. This mist could be formed by the Resistance ships in order to confuse the walkers and use it against the First Order so that they would lose visual contact with the ships. Next, we see Finn in a medical capsule recovering. However, in the next scene, we see Poe Dameron running together with BB-8 in a hallway on one of the Resistance ships. This could be the scene where it was said that the First Order attacks a ship commanded by the Laura Dern character, and that General Leia will be gravely injured in the process. Next, we have some quick cuts of the Millennium Falcon fighting against the First Order TIE fighters. Since the Millennium Falcon was last seen with Rey and Chewbacca commanding it, I can assume that this battle takes place on Ahch-To after Kylo Ren has finally discovered the location of Luke's hideout. Rey running with what seems to be the blue Skywalker lightsaber is a pretty good indication of that. She seems angry and worried at the same time. This could be because she has seen Luke Skywalker confronted by Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren and is now rushing to help the Jedi Master. This scene was sort of leaked way back that a confrontation between both parties will happen on Ahch-To. And then we get a close-up look at Kylo Ren and his scarred face, pointing his saber at what I can only assume is either his mother Leia or Poe Dameron, as it seems he is on the Resistance base where the First Order has attacked by this point, and I think it is here where he finally discovers the location of Ahch-To. It seems that they have dismantled the Resistance, or at the very least have dealt a crushing blow to them. As witnessed in this scene where we see Captain Phasma marching with stormtroopers, Kylo Ren, and the hangar bay with a space battle happening between the First Order and the Resistance as well. We finally get another clue that is connected to this scene from the Force Awakens trailer. Luke Skywalker is heartbroken and falls to his knees before R2 when he witnesses the destruction of his Jedi temple and his students killed at the hands of his nephew Ben Solo. We end the trailer with Luke saying, "I only know one truth. It's time for the Jedi to end," as he is standing at the entrance of a cave reminiscent to this one which we saw in the beginning. Many fans were shocked to hear Luke utter those words. However, this is taken without any context. This is a scene that presumably happens when the movie has just begun, where Luke is still disheartened and it seems that nothing can change his mind. As the goal in The Force Awakens was to find Luke Skywalker, now the goal could be to convince Luke to come back and join the fight against Snoke, the dark side, and many other threats facing the galaxy. I have many more thoughts on this, but I don't want to ramble on, so if you want me to cover this in detail, I will make another video about this subject. However, as I said, this line is taken out of context. Luke's journey is only beginning from this point. Alright Star Wars fans, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, feel free to leave a thumbs up down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and don't miss out on any of my future videos that I will post on this channel. Have a fun day my friends, and in closing, don't forget, may the Force be with you, always.